foul. 2 balls and a strike to count on Taylor. Reyes fires, swinging a drive, deep left field. This is way back. Walk-a-walk. Chris Taylor.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into DodgerHeads, presented by DodgerBlue.com, part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network. My name is Jeff Spiegel, joined today by Scott Geirman, Daniel Starkand, continuing in our series of positional previews. Today we're talking center field, and before you get depressed, Dodger fans, I'm going to share that I think I'm actually optimistic about center field. I have some positive thoughts. I'll put it that way. I have some positive thoughts on the Dodgers center fielder list as we look at this. So we're going through all the position rankings from MLB.com MLB Network, using that as a launching off point. Here are their center field rankings. The top 10 center fielders right now. No surprise, the best player in baseball at the top of this list, Mike Trout, Byron Buxton, Julio Rodriguez, Brandon Nimmo, Michael Harris, the top 5. Scott, when I look at this list, the Dodgers clearly not represented. We can talk in a moment about who's going to be playing center field: Trayce Thompson, Chris Taylor, James Outman. Here's why I'm optimistic, Scott. You can tell me if I'm crazy. I look at number 9 and number 10 on this list. Those guys aren't very good, which tells me that while I don't feel great about center field from a strictly Dodgers perspective, there's clearly about 22 teams in baseball that don't feel great about their center field position either. Am I crazy, Scott, for looking at this list and being sort of encouraged?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's so the variance from.
To be clear, I am crazy, or you agree with me?
No. Sorry, I agree with you. No, there's you're not crazy. Maybe a little crazy
That's
in a good way.
Crazy, though, yeah.
Maybe a little crazy in a good way. Yeah, but I would say that, like, I'm not gonna say drop off. I don't want to dunk on.
Oh, it's a freaking cliff, bro. Drop off is an understatement.
Yeah, all right. It's the bikini bottom drop off. So I like Lou. I like number 8. I like that. I would say, like, when he's healthy, I would say Luis Robert. And, like, that cliff is steep. It is sharp. You better have a parachute. So yeah, absolutely. I think that James Outman can crack that. Chris Taylor can crack that. We'll decide on who will play the most there. But it's a great group. This is another very solid positional group in baseball.
Yeah, the top 8. I think we agree that the top 8, there's 8 teams that probably feel good. And look, we can get to Reynolds, because I've had doubts about whether I would feel good about if Reynolds was my center fielder. He's 6th on this list. But Daniel, Yastrzemski and McCormick are 2-win players. Yastrzemski put up 2 wins above replacement in 150 games. McCormick in about 120. Just for comparison's sake, Gavin Lux last year was a 3-win player. So we're talking about a pretty dramatic drop-off from the production that Gavin Lux gave you, not in center field. I'm just saying from an overall baseball perspective. My point was, yes, the Dodgers don't feel great about what they're going to do in center field. I should say, as fans, we don't feel great about what the Dodgers are going to do in center field. Does it make you feel better knowing that there's 22 other teams in the same boat, Daniel?
Yeah, and it also makes me feel a little better that we're coming off a season where the Dodgers got almost no production offensively from their center fielder. So it's not like there's necessarily huge shoes to fill there. Not trying to hate on Cody or anything. I love Cody, but the bar is pretty low as far as offensive production in center field. I think defensively, if you look at the combination of Chris Taylor, James Outman, Trayce Thompson, whoever's going to be out there, they could be slightly above average defensively. Like, they're fine defensively out there. It's just a case of can they hit? Like, is Chris Taylor going to have a bounce back year? Is what James Outman did in the second half last year, like, is that anywhere close to being real? Same can be said for Trayce Thompson. So there's definitely a lot of question marks there. I know Scott is a big Steven Duggar guy, so maybe he emerges from that group. Jason Hayward, I'm sure he's got some fans out there. But the point is, the Dodgers have a lot of options out there. I know none of them are necessarily great, but who knows? Maybe one or two of those guys will emerge, and like you guys have talked about, the bar for being a number 9 or number 10 center fielder in baseball right now is not very high. So it wouldn't surprise me at all to see a 2 or 3 win season from Chris Taylor or Trayce Thompson or James Outman this season.
Yeah, Scott, it only took us 5 videos before we got Daniel's patented. No disrespect to Cody Bellinger, but the Dodgers got absolutely zero production offensively. I mean, it felt disrespectful to me, and I was okay with it, honestly.
Yeah.
Let's end rapid fire. 2 questions. We're giving grades on the position of how confident you feel. And then secondly, I want you to make a prediction. Who plays the most innings in center field for the Dodgers this year?
Oh, man.
Scott, I'll go first. How about this? I would say if we're grading on a curve compared to other major league teams, I would say center field for the Dodgers is a B-. I know that's going to seem high to a lot of people, and I would say go look at Mike Yastrzemski's 305 on base percentage, 99 weighted runs created plus, and realize he's a top 10 guy. James Outman could give you that, I think, in his sleep. So that's why I feel okay, slightly above average for the Dodgers. I think that group ends up in the top 15. But I'm a believer in Outman. I think defensively he's going to be good enough to stick there. I think offensively there's a lot of people that are starting to believe in the bat that it's not just smoke, it's not just a fluke. So I'm going to say Outman most innings, and I know I said rapid fire, so I'm going to ask for you guys to be quicker than I was. But I'm going B- and I'm going Outman. Scott?
I'll probably say a C+, and that's my first half grade. You always want me to give something, and then you're just like, go with it. I'm gonna say that it's just because we don't have an established option. I think that's because that for me gives me a little bit of pause. Just like I spoke about in another time, it'll be the biggest season with as many rotating pieces at a couple different spots. So I'll say I'm a believer in Outman. I'll co-sign that. Absolutely. I love James Outman, what he does. I like that. I love that his bat ticked up last year and that it was his glove that shot him through the minors. So I'm going to wish it to existence with you. I'm going to say James Outman gets the majority of the time over, say, Trace Thompson and Chris Taylor. I'm going to say James Outman gets the most, and I'll say about a C+, man, first half, and then maybe it changes. Daniel?
Oh, well, before I answer this, I kind of got a question for you guys. You guys might not know the answer. I definitely don't know the answer. So as far as defense goes, like, is James Outman an average center fielder? Is he a good center fielder? Is he a great center fielder? Like, because that kind of will help me make my decision here.
I mean, the sense that I get is I would say he's going to be an above average defensive center fielder from the day that he steps foot. I mean, and I'm basing that off of limited sample. Personally, the only times I've really seen are in spring training and the way that he's discussed in those contexts. But I think the sense I got is similar to a guy the Dodgers just traded in Jacob Amaya, was that, hey, we know the glove is going to play. It's just a matter of if the bat ever comes around. That's why I'm high on Outman, because I think the bat is starting. So, Scott, I mean, I don't know if you're into this world more than I am, but I would say he's going to be an above average defensive center fielder from day one.
Yeah, he's a 50 grade glove. So I would say, you're looking at a guy, they expect him to be as sure-handed as, you'd expect the center fielder, not Michael Harris level.
Yeah, I was going to say, not Cody Bellinger.
Not that.
Like, they're not replicating Bellinger, but it's going to be better than some of the defensive question marks that we've talked about at second base or third base or something like that.
And that's a spot that I'm sure Dodger fans will be okay getting a guy with just plop a glove out there in center field. That's why I'm so high on Miguel Rojas. I want that glove. I like defense. Especially now with the shift. I like that. I like defense. I don't like giving up unearned runs. So James Outman, yeah, you can lock it in. His glove's gonna be great.
Okay, so I've got a B-. Scott's got a C+. We both say Outman in center field. Daniel?
Yeah, so with that, I'm kind of on the same page as you guys. I'll go C+. I think kind of what Scott just said, like, if you could get, good to really good defense in center field, I think you got a lot of offense first guys at a lot of other positions. So if center field to me is one of the most important positions defensively. So if Outman could play really good defense there and be, an average or even slightly below average hitter, I'll take that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm surprised. I bet there's a lot of people that are going to pencil Chris Taylor in as the primary center fielder, but the three of us high on Outman.
I will say I do think Chris Taylor is mainly going to be playing outfield this season, with the Miguel Rojas addition. You got a lot of options in the infield, not quite a lot of options in the outfield. But if James Outman is good defensively, then I think Taylor would be playing, more left. Maybe there's kind of a platoon there, but even then, Outman is on, going to be facing the right-handed pitching, so he'll get more opportunities there, in center.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, B- for me, C+ for Scott and Daniel. We all think Outman's the primary center fielder. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Scott, Daniel, we appreciate you joining us. Thanks, everybody, tuning in on YouTube. If you're listening to this as a podcast, we appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and as always, go Dodgers.